Welcome back to another CBB Talk. It's your boy Wendesday. So we're here for a video, more of a recap preview type vid. Last one or two vids we've done like more main topics, but we're back for a recap / preview. In these last couple days, again, we've had some upsets. We have had some upsets. It's been a good couple of days. Oh shoot! I pressed the wrong day. I was starting to feel like that those results seem old. Anyways, let's start talking about them. We had a couple ranked teams go down on Wednesday, with UConn losing again. I dropped them back out. They've been in and out these last couple weeks. Two new teams in. I'll tell you right now: Boise State and North Carolina. North Carolina is back in for the first time, I think, since I've been ranking teams, or maybe not, but they're back in. It's been a while, but they're in. And Boise State back in, playing good, one of the best teams in the Mountain West, right below San Diego State. And I also have New Mexico in the conversation. That was a good game. Xavier had a great first half, and then that second half, UConn couldn't miss. Jordan Hawkins was going insane, but the not great production from the big man at the end of the game. And Sue Boom is one of the best players in the country and could win Big East Player of the Year this year. Xavier, right, looking like the best team in the Big East. They got a big challenge today that we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, Sean Miller, great job. Right now, I moved Xavier to the highest team in the Big East at ninth, and that's a good win. Houston took care of business. Tennessee only allowed 41 points. Providence got the win. Alabama survived against Mississippi State at home. That was one of the worst games they've played in conference, but it doesn't matter. They're still undefeated in conference, 18-2. They're number 2 in my rankings. Quinterly led them in scoring for Alabama. Needed a big second half, and that's what they got the win. And then Auburn, who I've been saying was frauds, but I had to keep moving up. They kept winning. They lose by 16 on the road against Texas A&M. Texas A&M is on my radar as a team that could be ranked. They're one loss in conference this year. They had a slow out of conference start. They were, I think, preseason ranked or maybe about to be ranked in the preseason, but they played really good of recent. Buzz Williams leading this team to a chance to make the tournament after last year losing in the SEC championship and being one of the first teams out in the tournament, which was very controversial. I remember that. Texas A&M keep getting big wins, and I remember what I said. It's hard to go into Auburn. No one goes into Auburn and wins. Texas A&M does it in pretty dominating fashion, and gets the win. Texas A&M is definitely going to be on my radar as a team that deserves to be ranked. One sec. I totally forgot to add them. Anyway, Texas A&M. I don't think there was much else on Wednesday if I'm going to look through it. One sec. Northwestern's building a nice little tournament resume here. Keeps getting wins in that in the Big Ten, which good for Northwestern. Texas Tech, still trying to get a conference win. We'll see when that happens. Indiana won on the road and close one. Creighton still playing really well. That game's gonna be interesting. And then San Diego State beats Utah State by 10. They're gonna be ranked in the next poll, I'm assuming, if they win this weekend. Playing really good basketball for the Aztecs in the Mountain West. It's such a competitive conference this year. Definitely one of the best in the country. On Thursday, we had some good games. Iowa State, Michigan State came down to the end. Michigan State holds off and gets the win by 2 at home. It wasn't pretty, but they did it by committee in this one. Murray doesn't step up in this one, and it was kind of the Ulyss, not one of the main guys for Iowa, actually leads them in scoring. It was a good game. Iowa's just, they're a quality team that can beat anyone, but I do not know if they're a tournament team this year. Michigan State, I believe, is a tournament team this year. And again, they stay in the discussion to be in my top 25, but it's kind of hard to put in them when you have so many other good teams that are just out of it. FAU keeps the second longest win streak in the country alive, and they're just keeping that at-large hopes alive. That's what you want to do. If somehow you slip up in the tournament, keep winning games. Oral Roberts, by the way, is really good. Remember from they made the Sweet 16 2 years ago? They're a good team that could definitely make damage this tournament. I think they're better from the year with when they also had Kevin O'Banner. I think they've improved. Michigan kept it close at home against Purdue, but Purdue holds on. The Dickinson-Edey matchup was good. Edey did get into a little bit of foul trouble in that one, which helped Michigan, but 19 points for Edey, 21 for Dickinson. A great matchup, two great players, two lefties going at it, big men. Purdue holds on. They're still number one team in the nation, and with only having one loss in Big Ten play is very impressive, and that just speaks calibers to Rutgers. That they are the only team to beat them. I know it's a down Big Ten this year, but Purdue's still showing that they're top of the class there. And then a big matchup was battle for LA, and USC gets the win. 52. They were down 12 going into half. Comes out and scores 52 points, 27-52. Boogie Ellis pretty much tied UCLA's points in that second half. He was unconscious there, and a big win for UCLA. Ends up winning by 13 after being down 12 at half. So that scores them by 25 there. And USC, you're getting onto my radar. I think you're the third best team in the Big 12. And the Big 12, the Pac-12, it's a very competitive conference because you have the top two, I still believe, is Arizona and UCLA. I've dropped now UCLA, by the way, down to 14th in my rankings. I have them below Baylor because Baylor lost to Virginia this year. Baylor still has a lot of losses. And yeah, Virginia 12th. But I still think UCLA and Arizona two top of the Pac-12. You have Utah is playing really well as also in Arizona State can make cases too, but I think USC is playing like that third best team in the country, and they're a bubble team right now. But if you look back on this win against UCLA, who's still top of the Big 12, it will look really good going into it. UCLA is now on a 2-game losing streak. They have 4 losses, both of them on 2-game losing streaks. I assume they'll bounce back, but you never know in this wild conference. Arizona just holds on against Washington State, who they lost early in the season to. Arizona State's struggling, and Utah gets another win. So Pac-12, very competitive conference. After the fact too, I think it's gonna be a 3-4 big conference right there, and you're looking for a team to separate themselves from that. Those three. I think it could be USC getting that third spot if I had to make a bet on it. Last night, really nothing great. New Mexico hangs on, gets a win. 19-3 this year. New Mexico just out of my rankings. I have Boise State ahead of them in the Mountain West. So yeah, kind of a slower week. The second half of the week. But we did have some funny news. Not funny, kind of weird was Brevin Galloway for Clemson. His balls exploded. Which that's interesting. Posted a video. He might be on some painkillers, and he put some on his Instagram story about explaining the situation. So that's gotta be scary. I do not know how that happens. I hope that it won't happen to anyone. So yeah, hopefully he'll be back in the court soon. He said he would. I don't know what's the extent like after, like what's the recovery. I don't know. But that's a pretty crazy situation, a little funny, but also, hope he's better. Being into this weekend, it's really just highlighted by the Big 12 SEC Challenge, two of the best conferences in college basketball, hosting a little challenge here. All 10 teams playing from the Big 10. Not every team from the SEC's playing, but we got a lot of good games. We'll just go through all of the games here first. We got Auburn and West Virginia. West Virginia is near the bottom of the Big 12, and Auburn's near the top, but West Virginia is favored in this one at home. This is going to be a good game. Auburn trying to avoid back-to-back losses. I think if they lose this game, they will be unranked going after this game. West Virginia, if you can keep getting wins and finish in that top 7, you have a chance to make the tournament and probably be a team that could go to Dayton. We'll go to the other non-games. We're just gonna go through all the ACC not ACC, SEC, Big 12. We have Alabama, Oklahoma. Alabama, going on the road to Norman. That could be a tough environment to play in. Oklahoma's been up and down this year. They've lost a lot of close games. Alabama's been the most dominant team in the nation these last couple of weeks. Had a scare earlier in the week. I think Alabama's going to win this game. They're 5-point favorites on the road. I expect them to win this game, and this loss won't count the SEC play, but it will count in the whole ranking, standings, net ratings. So get this win. Could be quad one win. Would be nice for Alabama to continue their path to be a number one overall seed. One of the most underrated best games here at 2:00 is Iowa State, Missouri. Missouri needs this win. They're a fringe bubble team right now. They've played not too well in the SEC. And Iowa State has been one of the most dominant teams in the Big 12 after coming off a big win against Kansas State earlier this week. A win at Missouri would be a great 2-0 week for Iowa State. Right now, I have Iowa State 8th in the rankings. Missouri was in them earlier this year. They're not even in my consideration. This win here for Missouri would be huge to continue their quest to be a tournament team. Texas Tech, LSU, two of the bottom teams, both teams on their losses. Texas Tech is trying to get a win. They have not won the game in a while, so that'd be a nice little win there for Texas Tech. Both those teams are on big losing streaks, so it'd be nice to get one. At 4, we have Arkansas going at Baylor. Baylor's one of the most hot teams in the country. 5 wins in a row in Big 12 play, doing it through their guards, of course. And Arkansas, this would be a nice win for Arkansas. I'm wearing a shirt, but this will be a good one. Anthony Black against Keontae George would be a nice freshman matchup to watch out for. But I think the guards from Baylor are too good at home in Waco. I think the environment's going to be rocking. I don't know if Arkansas has the experience to go in there and get this win. Ricky Council's going to give trouble, but I think Bridges can match up with him well. This will be a good game, but give me Baylor to win this one. If Arkansas is fully healthy, it might be a different story, but they're just not. And at some point, you got to be able to play with the players you have. And Arkansas has been slipping this year. I like Baylor in this one. I really wish it was a fully healthy matchup, though. It would have been a much better watch if that was the case. TCU goes on the road at Mississippi State. Mississippi State started off the year, they're almost like a Missouri, but worse. They played terrible in conference play this year. TCU has been on the heater. Not a heater, but have been playing really well of recent. Are they in my top 10? They're 10th in my poll. Get a win on the road. This would be a tough one. Mississippi State hasn't played really well recently, while TCU has. +2 for Mississippi State in this one. So it's close line. Vegas is gonna think it's close. I think TCU's gonna pull this one off. They played on the road really well at Kansas last week. There's no reason why they can't play well at Mississippi State. I know it's out of conference foe, but I expect them to get the job done in that one and walk out of this challenge with a win. 6:00, you have Florida going at Kansas State. It's only a 4.5-point favorite for Kansas State. Kansas State did have a loss this week to Iowa State, trying to avoid back-to-back. Florida, they're just probably not a tournament team this year, but they still have Colin Castleton, who will give them problems. And a win here for Florida would be a huge win and gives them a fighting chance for our tournament bid. I think Kansas State, you need this one. Don't want to drop 2 in a row when you're going back in the Big 12 play where it's going to be a challenge every night. So Kansas State, please get this win. We don't want you guys to be slipping because I could see a Kansas State slip. This team, wasn't supposed to be good coming into the year. They're playing good, but hopefully not an unfortunate slip. Texas goes on the road at Tennessee. This is probably the game of the week. It's not the primetime matchup. It's not the biggest names, but these two teams I think are the best. Not the best two in each conference, but this is the best matchup between two teams in the SEC Big 12. You have Texas, who has stayed really good without Chris Beard. They're one of the most underrated teams in the country. Tyrese Hunter, Marcus Carr, Timmy Allen, Bishop, Jamari Rice. This team is full depth, can shoot the ball, can get up and down, but they can also play at their own pace. Tennessee, on the other hand, is the best defensive team in the nation, led by Zakai Ziegler, who's a pesky guard. Vescovy can shoot the ball. Key, Josiah Jordan James is such a good defender. They got two good bigs. This will be a grit and grind type game. I could see the winner only scoring 60 points. Texas does like to get up shots, but they might have to slow down the pace for Tennessee, who's the best defensive team in the nation. I think because it's at home, Tennessee had lost that game to Kentucky at home. I think they don't want to lose this one. I have Tennessee ranked 4th and Texas 5th. A win from Texas here would be a statement on the road win against a good team. A loss, if they keep it close, won't change my mind too much about Texas. Tennessee should win this game at home, but I think it will be close. Excited for that one for sure. That's the best game in this challenge. Keep going down. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the last one is just of course, the big names. It's a blue blood matchup. It's Kansas trying to avoid 4 in a row losses for the first time since the 90s, 80s. I don't know. First time under Bill Self, they'll be losing 4 games, but they have to go to Rupp Arena and play Kentucky, who's been really good of recent. They're one of the hotter teams in the SEC. I think they have 3 wins in a row, playing their best basketball, and while Kansas is playing their worst basketball. It's gonna be a match between 2 of the best players in the country, Jalen Wilson against Oscar Tshiebwe. A good matchup. Kentucky gets this win. That's a resume builder. That's a win that could get you in the conversation to be ranked again. It's a win that would put you back into the national spotlight. Kansas just trying to lose 4 in a row and take a big dip. They're going as underdogs. Interrupt. I think Kansas is going to win this game. They don't lose 4 in a row. It's going to be tough. Last year at home, when they played Kentucky, they got blitzed. I think they're going to use that as a little bit of motivation. They know what they're going to do. I know stopping Tshiebwe is going to be a problem, but I think Jalen Wilson is going to have mismatch nightmares. I think they're going to play. DeJuan Harris is going to play at his own pace. I think Kansas can win this game. Grady Dick, I think, is going to have a nice game. I think Kansas is going to finally get back on a win streak here. And Ole Miss also plays Oklahoma State. Not a great game there. But yeah, that's it all for the Big 12 SEC Challenge. One of the best little different, it shakes things up from just regular college play, which is always fun. I think more conferences should do this in the middle of the year because I know the ACC Big 10 Challenge, but that's in the beginning of the year. We're always having out of conference games. I like it to shake up in the middle of the year, get a little fresh, new fresh faces playing different teams, which is always good going into new environments. Take a quick break, and then we'll talk about the rest of the games for this weekend. And yeah, that's it. Going to other games on the weekend. Virginia's hosting Boston College. Should be a win for my Cavaliers. This would be a terrible loss, but 14-point favorites at home. That would be tough to cover, honestly, because of the way Virginia plays, but expect the dub. Maybe one of the best games of the weekend for sure is Xavier at Creighton. Creighton's a favorite in this one. They're playing really good since they've got Ryan Cockburner back. I think they're 6-2 in conference play. Xavier's is the best team in the Big East in my opinion, but going on the road in Omaha will be a tough challenge there. I think Creighton wins, Xavier covers. My opinion. NC State going on the road at Wake Forest will be a tough one. A little in-state rivalry, not rivalry, but in-state matchup. No one even thinks of Wake Forest, honestly, in North Carolina, if I'm being honest. Like, that's true. Like, I live in North Carolina, and no one even talks about Wake Forest. Like, I kind of forget they're even in my goddamn state. This will be a tough one, though. Wake Forest plays really good at home. Both these teams are looking for big dubs. Tre'Quavion Smith, I think, is back. Give me Wake Forest to win at home, though. This would be a really good win for NC State if they want to make the tournament this year. Kevin Keatts, I think you need to, or you may be gone. Be gone in Raleigh, my city. Duke trying to get a win. They don't have Dariq Whitehead. We'll see how long he's out for. Illinois plays at Wisconsin. Both teams looking for a dub. I think Illinois should win this. Wisconsin's just been played really, really bad recently. They had such a good start to the year, and I called them overrated. They were never in my top 25 when they were ranked like 16th in the country. I was now a believer. I thought they were overrated, but they've really slipped after a good start to the season. Illinois has just been up and down throughout the year. We got Hofstra, I think it's the second best team in the CAA, will go on the road at Charleston, so maybe watch out for that one. Maybe the second best team is Townsend, but Charleston 21-1, trying to keep that. I think they have a 20-game win streak right now, trying to get to 21 games. Miami goes on the road at Pitt. That's gonna be a tough one. But Pitt's, a bubble team. Miami, trying to stay ranked, trying to stay on the national radar, get that number beside you if they win this game. Loss, probably not. They're my first team out of the top 25, by the way, is Miami. So a win here probably will get you in. FAU plays again. They should win that. Yeah, Townsend's probably the second best team in the CAA. They're 50-7. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if Charleston loses with the CAA tournament, let's say they win out the regular season and then lose the CAA tournament, will they be in the tournament? I think it'll depend, of course, on other tournament results, but that would be very interesting if that was the case. Let's see. Gonzaga's on the road to Portland. They have not played good this year, so could be a threat. Utah State on the road at Fresno. No. Boise State hosts Colorado State. Boise State should win that one. Ohio State at Indiana's a good one. Ohio State's played really bad. They're not a tournament team this year. They've been they're on at least a decent losing streak right now. Indiana's playing really good recently. Trace Jackson Davis in India should get that one done. If I had to think, St. Mary's at BYU is a real good one because St. Mary's, again, they're ranked, but you're going to BYU. That's not an easy place to play at Provo. BYU is going to pack that house. They always play ranked teams really well there. I could see an upset for St. Mary's. Get this win. I think you could be the best. If they win this game handily and Gonzaga struggles again, St. Mary's may be the best team in WCC. Just saying, they're that good this year, and they're like 7th in the net, so the computers love them as well. Really, the last game is Nevada at UNLV. UNLV is not a tournament team this year, but Nevada's trying to be that this year, and going on the road UNLV is not the easiest. Let's look at Sunday. I think there's one or two decent shouts to watch. Michigan State, Penn State. One of those, probably both of those teams won't be tournament teams, but one of them definitely won't be a tournament team this year. So winner would, benefit a lot. Providence on the road, Villanova. Villanova's not a tournament team this year, but never an easy place to play for Providence. Michigan State, Purdue. That's a real good one on Sunday. In Mackey, a rematch from 2 weeks ago. So they played recently at Michigan State, and Zach Edey hits a game winner to win it. So see if Michigan State comes with revenge, but this time you're going into Mackey. That they've only lost is at Mackey though. A real going at 2 also is, so I think football would start at 3 or 4. Might be 3, so you might be able to watch a little bit of this game. Rutgers, Iowa. Rutgers should be a ranked team, honestly. I got them at 22nd in my rankings. Going in Iowa. Iowa win this game. You stay in that Big Ten race. Rutgers win this game, probably separates themselves as the second best team in the SEC. So yeah, that's it. A nice little preview recap type vid, a classic one that we usually do here. Thanks for watching number 21, episode 21. Will you do something for me?